Hey guys, this is James from Grabbing the Brisket. I don't know why I'm the only one that just like introduced myself. It's like y'all nominated me to be the host of this podcast.
You told us to shut up. You said, shut up, I'm going to say something.
That's not even true.
Let's just be honest. When you put your finger in the air and you're looking around and nobody can say anything,
right.
That's when you...
Like the daggers.
Yeah.
I'm just
My third grade
everywhere.
teacher used to do the same thing. It was like,
Exactly.
Signs up.
It's
Signs up.
It's totally bullshit. Hey, we got a special in-house live guest. We got Cooking with Kunchi. Hey, thank you for taking time. I know you're... thank you for taking time out of your schedule to talk barbecue with us, but I know you've been all over Texas.
All over. Dude, I love it here.
What's your initial thoughts? Like anything jump off the page for you?
So the first thing, thank you guys for even extending this courtesy to me, but very first thing I would say about Texas. Texas is where branding is made. Dude, there's Texas on everything.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Texas flag. There's the word Texas. There's the Texas map. Yeah. It's just everywhere.
The
and
symbols,
I'm just like,
the symbols are everywhere, right?
The pride that's here in Texas, dude, it's nowhere else.
Yeah, nobody is as proud of themselves as Texans are.
When you order pizza, like a lot of times from your pizza restaurant, you can find a Texas symbol somewhere on the pizza box.
It happens.
It's crazy.
I'm telling
It's
you.
weird. Yeah.
And pizza wasn't even made here.
No.
But they've branded it. I just love the branding thing. The food.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
That's good.
So if you guys probably know from my TikTok, I talk about simple barbecue. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've gotten. Mm-hmm. Just simple, nothing sauced. Right? So I judge a barbecue restaurant based on how much sauce they put on my meat. Mm-hmm. And here I've had no plates with sauce.
Okay.
And I'm
what are the couple of restaurants you've hit so far?
I've gone to Killen's. I ate Killen's today. Man, the ribs. Oh my God.
With the beef ribs?
I didn't eat the beef ribs
Oh,
at
yeah,
Killen's.
pork ribs?
I had pork ribs. I had brisket. And I had turkey. Turkey here is amazing.
It's pretty good, huh?
I'm now inspired to go home and smoke some turkey breast because,
right?
Like, it's crazy. And I know it's brined.
It is.
That
it is.
flavor is
always want to do a
just
brine. Oh, yeah.
all the way through. Dude. So I went to Pinkerton's.
Oh, Pinkerton's is legit too.
Yep, Pinkerton's. I had the beef rib and the bone. The length of it is as tall as taller than my head. I did a little TikTok video that but the flavor was just salt, pepper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So simple, so moist. Just you can feel again the pride and the passion in how that food was made. Mm-hmm. I think I had turkey there too, and there was a sausage that jalapeno cheddar sausage. Mm-hmm. The guy sold it to me. He was like, "You got to have this sausage," and I was like, "Bro, you sound really proud of this sausage right now, so let's try it."
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, we had Pinkerton on the show, and he's a hell of a guy.
Was that when we're at the rodeo, right?
Yep. That's right. Yep. That's right.
Well, it goes back to a lot of stuff that we saw on your social media pages of basically keeping it simple, and I think all throughout Texas they have that mentality of we're going to keep it simple, we're going to let the meat shine.
Yep.
We're not going to sauce too much. There are a couple of people that do. I mean, I think Pinkerton does do little ribs where he sauces a little bit. There's some that do that, but it's more just like, hey, we're just going to season the meat, low and slow cook it, and here it is. And then they'll throw out some amazing sides. I don't know. You mentioned you went to Killen's. You get any of the sides that they have there?
You have to get the sides. I eat the sides first.
Yeah,
because I have to judge the sides. The mac and cheese at Killen's was the best mac and cheese I've had in a restaurant.
It's really good.
I don't want to talk,
Go ahead.
too crazy about the mac and cheese because my wife makes a mean mac and cheese. But
she'll never listen to this.
Right.
In a restaurant setting, that was I had that, and I actually ate green beans.
Okay.
Because the green beans didn't look like super cooked and waterlogged. Mm-hmm. It's made with some bacon, so they jazzed it up a little bit, but it was still just so. That's the only thing I ate every bit of was the green beans.
Look at that!
It was so good.
That was awesome. Yeah, if you catch Killen's on the right day, they've got that deep fried mac and cheese. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have them going, but they're like, looks like a freaking snowball. It's deep fried, and then it's just mac. It's good. It's really freaking good.
It's just good.
It's just good to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lactose intolerant in me just like
Wouldn't matter.
just sounds like that's like a terrible time.
Do you do you like cheese?
Certain cheeses I do like.
That's right. Yeah.
Certain I'm just like, no, I don't like that.
I'm not doing that.
It's
Dude,
not my jam.
that's part of how I judge barbecue places is how good is your mac and cheese.
Yeah.
You have some shitty mac and cheese. I'm like, nah.
I don't know. Like mac and cheese is one, beans are another. The other one is like, do they give you a slice of bread no matter what? Mm-hmm. Right? If you're not getting a slice of bread no matter what, and some pickles.
Is that just a Texas thing, or do other
homemade,
places doing the slice of
homemade
bread?
pickles?
I think it's a Texas thing with the bread.
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes back to like the old country stores and the old, like we're talking like 100 years ago, where they just had the stores where basically you're going into a grocery store and we have barbecue and there's like bread on the shelves and there's pickles.
Yeah.
And this is basically like, okay, I'm getting some bread and I'm getting some pickles and here's my smoked meats and I go outside and I eat it. So that's kind of where that started. And now it's like everybody's like, okay, you got to make your own artisan pickles and throw your bread out there.
You do.
No, it can't
but
be
the bread
like
can't be
the
fancy.
bread can't be fancy. It's got to be like out of a bag, plain old white cheap
yeah.
bread. Yeah, it's got to be
100%.
that,
So I actually went to Good.
Goody.
Country.
Good company?
Goody.
Good Company.
Yeah.
Gode.
Goode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's goody.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Goody?
Goody.
It's,
I think
no,
it's
it's
No,
good.
it's good.
Is it good?
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought it was Goody. The
No,
Goody,
make it shit
Goody
out.
Barbecue
The
Company.
E
Easy
silence.
Damn it. I've been calling it Goody for like 10 years.
That's something.
That's,
Anyways,
well,
what'd you think of it?
thank
So
you.
Good was really good.
Way to stress that. I like that.
Yeah, and they actually make their own bread. So it's
Oh,
a
really?
jalapeno cheddar bread.
Oh, wow.
And-
Okay. Now you're getting fancy.
Yeah.
That I bit into that bread and I was just like, man, it was Sunday and it was just me and one other couple in the restaurant. And so like, I guess the manager saw me like filming my food and he came over and he was like, hey man, what do you think? And like we had this whole long conversation about the simple barbecue. And there I had pork ribs, brisket, and chicken. Like I don't even know where. Maybe I ate the bone. I don't know.
Right.
But it was.
What was the
just
star?
so-
Was it the chicken or
Oh, my
what was
God.
the star?
The star was the brisket,
Brisket?
for
Okay.
that restaurant. The star at Pinkerton's was the beef rib.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God! You know that beef rib did not just come off the smoker, but when I held it up in front of the camera, like there was just like juices dripping from it. And
Oh,
I was
I love
like,
it.
man.
Love it. Yeah.
Hours later, still juicy.
Yeah, no, these guys, and we've interviewed Grant, and we've interviewed the guy over at Mimsy's Barbecue. A lot of these pit masters, and some of them kind of divulge a little bit of their secrets as far as what they do. But there are a lot of restaurants that cook, and then it's pulled off in the morning, like early, and it just sits there and it
Yeah.
rests
Like half a day.
half a day.
But it's resting in either a Cambro
Or
or
they'll wrap it in like saran wrap or something too.
That's
I've
right.
seen them do that.
Yeah.
Correct. They're talking about like you can rest these guys for 6 hours. Like
10
a lot of
hours.
these
Oh, yeah.
restaurants
I've done it lots of
will
times.
hold it for a long time, and when they pull it out, it's so juicy, it's so tender. You're just like, crap, because a lot of the stuff that you read on the internet and a lot of stuff that you do the research and stuff like that is like, okay, rest it for a couple hours and then pull it off, and then here you go. They don't tell us like, yeah, you can hold
That's the
this
minimum.
for
Yeah.
a long time, as long as you're not like holding meat to where it's like under like 140
Right.
degrees
Unsafe
or
temperature.
unsafe temperatures,
Yeah.
you're good. But nobody's told us that, and so we're in the mentality like, okay, you have to just like go ahead and just like, well, it's been resting for 3 hours. I pull it off. It's like, man, it's super tender. It's juicy.
But
if
you have
I
to cut it up at that
yeah,
point, right?
I got to cut into it. But it's one of those like unknown secrets that nobody divulges.
Right. Yeah. Let that shit rest.
Right.
Yep. I also went to No Name Barbecue.
Oh, on
It was
on
off the highway
225
somewhere.
in Pasadena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pasadena.
I've never
And,
heard of it.
Yeah, they're good.
Like, I wasn't super impressed, but it was still good. Like, in a pinch, it would have been awesome. But the scrutiny in me, kind of judged it heavily. But it was really good. The beans were good. As a side, I got another side there. But the food was decent. The turkey, man, the turkey here is just blowing me away.
Yeah, it's funny because like there's quite a few barbecue restaurants I've been to where I won't be very impressed, but the turkey always seems to be pretty damn good. Like it's always redeeming.
You should have had James made some of his turkey tonight. That's just the bomb.
It's that brine.
Yeah.
That brine.
Now, James, when you do your turkey, you don't brine it at all, do you?
I
When
don't,
you're just making the turkey breast itself.
yeah, I don't brine it at all. And I don't know what these restaurants are doing. Some probably brine them. Some probably just like right out of the package because a lot of these giant turkey breasts come already brined as well. Yeah. So you really don't have to do much to them. Maybe throw some freaking coarse black pepper on top because the brine already has a lot of salt in it. So you just throw it on the smoke and just let it go.
Yeah, whatever you're doing is good.
Yeah,
Where did you go? Where did you have the pecan pie? I saw you make a video about that.
So when I went to the Good Company Barbecue Sunday, they did not have pecan pie. The guy was like, "Man, I'm really sorry. We're out of pecan pie, and I really wanted to get you a slice." Because he came over to me, I didn't know about the pecan pie, but he was like, "Dude, our pecan pie is so good." So I'm driving on the highway, and I look off to the side, and there's the Good Company Barbecue on my GPS. Like, it showed me right there, and I was like, pecan pie, here I come. So I kind of just got off the highway, went in there, and I asked the young lady, "Where's the pecan pie?" And she says, "All right, we're going to put together..." Oh, shit.
You're good.
We're going to put together a couple right now, and I got it, and I sat there in my car, and I ate like one whole slice.
No, I was thinking one whole pie. I was imagining the entire.
So she asked me if I wanted the pie, and I was like, I'm only here for 2 more days. I think that would be irresponsible. Even though I'm not like a health nut or nothing, but man, I had one last night or yesterday evening in my car, and today I had the next one for breakfast. It was just
That's a breakfast right there.
Yep.
I love that. So, I feel like we jumped way ahead. Like, how did this start for you? How did you get into barbecue? Where did this begin?
Barbecue. So, I'm Jamaican. Grew up in Jamaica. So I grew up watching people make jerk chicken, right? And traditionally making jerk chicken, it's over hot coals. It's spraying it with some beer, like ever so often to keep it juicy and all that. And I got curious about offset cooking because I bought my first offset and I did not understand how to use an offset till the side box on my offset that I bought fell off. And it just occurred to me, like, you've never put charcoal in this. Because I just never believed that you could get the heat and the smoke and the flavor in there. So, got on Facebook, found a barbecue group, and I started looking. Got on YouTube, started looking. And I decided to buy Oklahoma Joe's Highland. Like, all right, I'm gonna start real basic, get into it, and I'm trying to learn all these things. And then I started to realize, like, I've been wasting time trying to cook jerk chicken like over the fire and spraying it with beer. Like, this is useless. Why don't we just do it how they have this system designed to cook it for you? It's so much easier. I could go in the house and sit down, versus sitting there and then, like, the whole smoke thing. Like, you're seeing this puffy, cloudy white smoke because you're dumping liquid on your coals. And so when I started looking into barbecue, I tried all of these things. I tried the spritzing. I've tried the wet wood. I've tried putting water, putting water on the meat. And then I kind of started like eliminating things. And so I kind of noticed that barbecue is much simpler for us to get good results than you see on TV, than you see on the cooking shows and all that. So I really just took like a vested interest because I learned so much through my own curiosity. And I really wanted to share that because so many people, you go in a Facebook group right now and you type, I'm going to cook my first brisket. What are some tips? And you're going to hear the same like 5-10 things.
Right. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah.
Like one of them is like the wet wood. Like I when I first started getting into barbecue, the wet wood. Hey, you got to soak those chips. You got to soak those wood chunks in the water. You're just like, and I do it, and I'm like, well, this is just producing like a lot of like just white smoke. It's just like a lot. And I was like, it doesn't smell bad, but then when you taste the barbecue, you're like, it kind of tastes off. It just kind of tastes bitter a little bit. It's like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And
then you move on to the next fad, and the next fad is like, hey, you need to do this to your barbecue. And then you do it. You're like, I don't know where you got that. It's like, people are like passing down information that they learned from somebody else, and that person told them. And it's almost like that what was that, like grade school thing where you like whisper something in somebody's ear.
Playing telephone.
And that person like tells somebody else, and that person tells somebody else again. And then all of a sudden you have like a shitty ass brisket.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a shitty ass brisket. I think it's always, I think people are always cooking to the best of their ability, right? So if they have something they've never had before, then they go, oh my God, this is the greatest. I've never had this before, right? This flavor, this whatever this is, right? Mm-hmm. And then that's the greatest they ever had. Now, flash forward 6 months later, once they've jumped all the way in and they started cooking everything, they may not even cook that piece of protein or whatever they're cooking the same way as they did 6 months ago or 8 months ago. Because you're always evolving, you're growing, you're learning something different. So I always think of something that's like, yeah, it's the best barbecue you ever had right now, but give it a month and learn some new techniques and whatever, and that could be at that point the best barbecue you ever had.
Best barbecue, right?
You know, and then you meet somebody else that has a different flavor combination they're putting together, and they're like, "Hey, try this," and you're like, "Oh my God, this maybe." I know I keep saying this, but why is this the freaking best barbecue you ever had? Right? So it's always evolving. I think like right now we're like in competitions. I think we're in a very sugary, sweet
shit
barbecue.
we would never eat at home, but for competition, it is what it is, right?
Right. Yeah. So they get one small bite that they're going to have and go forward, but it's even then it's still evolving. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you weren't having a sauced brisket. That was never going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And now in competitions, you got guys turning in and teams turning in sauce brisket, and it's a flavor profile that has caught on so much that now that when judges that don't know anything about judging or anything else go into it, they're like, well, I like this tastes good, and it's something to compare it to. You know what I mean? It's something like different.
Sweet baby Ray's,
right?
Like this tastes just like I just covered everything with brown
ladder
sugar.
Fluid and tattoos, baby. Let's go.
It's stuff that we struggle on when we do our competitions. Like definitely, we're like we cannot conform. We're just gonna still do what we do, and then we don't win. You're like, now I'm gonna cover everything in sauce, and they're like, no, that's not you true. Win.
That's not true.
To some degree.
To some degree, it could be.
I obviously I'm being facetious just a little bit or sarcastic just a little bit, but yeah. I mean, we don't conform that much.
I will tell you this, and I've said this for years, 10 years, maybe 15 years, and competing, I will tell you this right now. If all the masses are turning in a certain type of protein a certain way, to where they all look glazed. It's all a cherry habanero, or it's all a pineapple and whatever, or an apple and something, right? Mm-hmm. If everybody's doing that, I'll tell you right now, going against the grain a little bit and watching everybody go, well, this one tastes like the last one. This one tastes like the last one. All of a sudden coming in and going, well, this is a little bit different.
Better be damn good, though.
If it's good, I'm telling you right now, you will score higher than if had you just went with the masses, in my opinion.
I believe that. So, personally, I think I was late to the social media game.
Yeah, me too.
Right? Many people were already making like really good brisket, right? They were already doing beef tallow. They were already doing mustard binders. And I consume a lot of Gary Vee's content. And I realized that I had to do something different. I couldn't be just another barbecue guy and stand out. Right? Like, you probably could get one or two viral videos, but how are you going to build an audience doing the same thing that every other...
That's right. The last 1,000 people are doing.
So when I found that the simple barbecue would work, and when I did that first video that said, stop spritzing the meat, and like in that video, somebody asked, like, what are your thoughts on dirty smoke? And I did that video, and I had 2 videos going viral at the same time. It was like, that was what told me that this can work.
Right, a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
For sure. That
Love
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But you know what else makes sense?
No.
If we took just a quick little break to pay the bills, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so we did get a call in on the hotline, and it's kind of related to what we've been talking about here with like the basic barbecue, keep it simple flavors. And this is from Greg, not the same Greg that constantly calls Jan a bitch. A different Greg. This Greg is down in Australia.
This can be kind of messy, but we'll see.
No, this is a good Greg. Well, the other Greg is great, actually. I love the other Greg.
Yeah.
He's probably my favorite Greg. But this Greg
Sorry, Greg from Australia.
Greg.
You're not John's favorite. Maybe after this message you will be. Hey, it's fine. John, just play it.
Australia Greg,
I'm just
call
gonna
him a bitch. You'll be my favorite.
You're just talking way too
Good
much,
day,
John.
Greg. I'm just going to say we never heard this voicemail before, so go ahead and play it, John.
All right.
That's good, Jim.
G'day guys, it's Greg from Corowa in Australia. I just recently had a second cook-off with the loser from the last cook-off. It's a man-on-man, get a brisket handed to us at 7 in the morning, and we have to deliver it by 7 o'clock at night. So 12-hour cook, prep time, rest time, all combined in that 12 hours. And I beat him again by 1 point, so I'm pretty happy about that. Some of the judges' critiques, though, did say that even though I did a salt, pepper, garlic rub and I had a beautiful smoke ring, we just needed a little bit more flavour in it. So I was ringing to get a bit of tips and advice on what I needed to do to try and add that little bit more flavour without taking away from the goodness, the good beefy meatiness of it. Yeah, that's me from Australia. Thanks very much, guys. Have a good one. Keep up the good work.
So he basically said he did a competition. He did salt, pepper, garlic.
No, I can
but
hear
he
him.
wants to
I understand.
Kick up a little bit.
No, it's weird.
I don't know if you remember that he called in before.
No,
he
I
left us a message
John
before.
translating?
Yeah,
for
John
you?
translating English for us. So yes, I totally.
Fuck you, Jen.
Yeah.
Fuck you very much.
Hey, thanks a lot, John. Listen, I think the salt, pepper, garlic is. I love that trilogy. Right, that's a rub that it's hold dear probably in Texas more so than any other state when it comes to barbecue. But I think there are a few seasonings out there, brands out there that you can add or bring into that it has that same quality and maybe has a little bit of herbiness to it. What's the one I'm thinking of, James, right now? Is it the Lanes?
We have the Lanes brisket rub.
The Lanes brisket rub
has a little bit more of the herb, the thyme,
Yeah.
the paprika that kind of shines through a little bit,
It's
along
LA
with the salt, pepper, and garlic.
That's right. LANE Lanes Barbecue. Yeah.
S?
Well, there's an S on there.
Yeah, there's
but,
an S at the
But
end of
I'm just going
Lanes.
with the first lane, right?
Yeah.
It's the singular.
And his
lane,
stuff
Lane Barbecue.
is very available in Australia. So
It is. It is. But yeah, I mean, obviously, adding something like that to it, I think, helps out. But I will tell you this right now: your salt, pepper, garlic is probably a great bark and great brisket. Are you adding anything at the end? At the end of the cook,
something with a bite, maybe.
yeah, you got an 8-hour cook sitting out there, and did you add a finishing seasoning or a finishing salt? Maybe you take one of your other seasonings and grind it down very, very, very powdery like, right? And take and just sprinkle some of that on top. That way you get a little bit of the best of salt, pepper, garlic all over everything at one time,
kick of
right?
flavor.
Little kick or a little pop,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I can give Greg the secret. I can give him the
He just needs to put more
the
salt, pepper, and
spritz.
garlic.
I
It's
give him
the
the
spritz.
spritz.
That's what it is.
All
And
right.
The spritz. So
the
like,
binder. Don't forget the binder.
we're not binding, but I give you a little bit of the spritz that we use that kind of separate us a little bit in some of the competitions that we do, and nobody uses it. And there's probably a lot of people that use it or
I think
whatever.
people tried. I think some people have used it in the past, but it's not a widely known thing.
Correct. Yeah, and I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
Pickle juice.
Some
Pickle juice is a
dill.
nice
pickle juice.
spritz. That, I'm not saying you go over spritz.
Like
Let your bark set up.
Del Dixie.
Throw a little spritz on there. Yeah, Del Dixie is
Yeah.
my favorite.
It's not the every 30-minute spritz.
Correct. No.
No.
Hey, maybe once an hour, just kind of spritz a little bit. And then when you go to wrap your brisket up, just take like a quarter cup of that brisket juice. I mean, that pickle juice and dump it into that foil.
Yep. A wrap.
I'm saying foil. Go foil, not butcher paper, because it will not hold, but foil. And that will mix with your seasonings and your au jus, everything, and it'll create this like just
A little something.
that just like, wow, oh my God, I just got a little something different.
Yeah, well, and I think that works, but it sounds like Greg is well, I think he's a true barbecuer, and I think he's using butcher paper from the sound of it.
Well, I think he's relatively new to this thing. If I
Yeah.
remember from his last message, like he was the first time he wrote in, he was like, "How do I cook a brisket?" And he's obviously come a long way. But I think he wants any tips for that.
Competitions, you have to throw the butcher paper away.
No.
You do.
In a
100%.
12-hour cook, I don't know if you can do it with the butcher paper. That's my only concern with it.
Right.
In a competition for this type of cook, you should be using tinfoil. Hopefully, he probably did in order to get this thing done.
Right.
I don't think you're doing that in a butcher wrap with salt and pepper, right? So
Correct.
But I do think that's a great point, James. Is adding that it has a little bit of acidity to it, right? A little bit of vinegar,
A little vinegar.
salt. So it's getting reaffirmed. So it may be something that small may have helped out over a long period of time.
Yeah.
But I still think you got to go back and hit it with something before you turn in, right? Get all your slices together. You've dunked it back in the au jus, and you got them all sitting on a board. Hit it with something, and then plate it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Matt?
I think he just needs more salt, pepper, and garlic.
Done it all.
Just add more.
You just need more.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they do chefs when they cook. They're like, I'm adding the salt as soon as I start cooking, and then I start stirring, and then like 20 minutes later, I'm adding more salt,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I add meat, I'm adding more salt,
All the salt.
Oh,
and
really?
then when
It's a lot of
when they
sodium.
finish, they taste. Let me add a little more salt. I watched a TikTok video. This girl's talking about she's making her own like marinara sauce or whatever, or Sunday sauce or whatever.
I don't know what whatever means.
Yeah.
What was it?
It's
I
Sunday
don't know.
sauce, bro.
I said whatever
Duh.
too many times.
Yeah.
I appreciate your
No, what sauce is this that she's making?
a marinara sauce,
What for what?
spaghetti sauce.
You don't know what marinara is?
I'm marinating marinara. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was
Tomato
making a
sauce.
marinara sauce. So
Okay.
she would like you have the veggies down, whatever.
Yeah.
Season, salt,
She salted.
tomatoes go down, add a little more salt. But there's salting in stages as opposed to just like dumping just salt on it.
Yeah, I think I saw that video.
And this person was like, I'm measuring everything out. She would like, I put a pinch of salt here, then I put a pinch of salt in the bowl next to me, just to show you how much salt I'm putting in here. And it's way less salt than you can go to a restaurant or a some type of like commercial type deal. They're like, if you go out to eat at a restaurant, they put so much sodium and butter
in the
and
food,
sugar and everything.
So I always thought they didn't. I always thought they skimp on it. They want you to.
No, they put so much in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you taste it, you're like, holy crap, this is good. I like this. But at home, you're able to control it. You're able to put like as much as salt as you want. You keep adding whatever. But hey, Greg, hey, good day, mate.
Okay.
We appreciate your
I mean, congratulations
conversation.
on winning.
Yeah.
You won, so.
Yeah, way to kick their ass.
Yeah. All I say is like look and see if they have Del Dixie pickles, and then still their pickle juice.
That's right. That's a pro tip right there.
Okay.
I don't think all of us here would say that's a pro tip. I think there may be one person here that would not say it's a pro tip with the pickle juice.
The spritzing?
But
I mean, that's a competition tip.
that's a competition tip, right?
Right.
There's a separation, though.
There is definitely a separation.
See, I personally understand the separation.
That's true. There's a lot of folks that think it's the same thing. It's not.
What I speak against is the blending of the two, because you have guys that put these videos out there, right? They put these videos out, and now the average guy who's not going to compete looks at this video and is like, all right, so I need to get 1 part pickle juice and 3 parts this, and then it's like, no, that's not for you. That's for the other guy. So I respect competition. I have friends that compete. You guys compete. Like, I'm not here hating on you. What I don't like is when people present competition as gospel.
Yeah.
Like, this guy asked for competition advice. You gave him comp advice. If a guy called in and said, you know what, I'm in my backyard and I just want to cook a brisket, you wouldn't give him comp rules.
No.
Right?
You're not giving him like 20 seasonings that he has to layer.
To layer.
And then once you wrap, you add more seasonings. And then once you slice up, you separate the au jus from the fat.
You know?
And then you brush both.
Brush the
And then you add more seasonings on top of that.
It's a total different thing. We, as creators, are responsible for that message.
That's
right.
right.
We have to know, like, what is this guy asking? So right now, I have a guy on my YouTube. And I probably should just give this guy my phone number. Right? But we have probably exchanged 150 comments. Because he'll message me and he's like, hey, I'm trying to cook a pork tenderloin today. And what do you think? And so I'll tell him what I think. And he'll say, thank you, man. I'm going to go try it. And then he'll go try it. And then he'll come back and he'll message me and he'll be like, yada, 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 this worked. And I really like how you did it on your video. And I did it the exact same way. And I got this result. Or he'll say, I didn't really like the flavor on this one, so I'm going to change a little bit. But it's all these comments on my YouTube. But I'm not telling that guy to go spritz and wrap with butter for your ribs and like doing all this stuff. It's easy. Just he's older. He's retired from the conversations we've had, and this is all in the comment section of my YouTube page.
He just wants a good. He just wants a good rib, or a good
brisket, good barbecue.
Good,
simple.
That's it. Just simple something on his Weber kettle.
Correct.
And that's it. But I keep it in the comment section of the YouTube and not give him my cell number because it's there for reference. Other people will go see those comments. Yeah. Other people will read all those exchanges that we talked about. One brisket, like 45 comments between me and this guy. And I keep it there just because of that.
Oh, for sure.
Because if it's not written down, nobody will know. You know? So I think I know that people go through and read the comments because I'll look at it and I'll see like 3 likes here, and so on. So I kind of understand that, but we have to just separate, competition from barbecue.
Oh, it's definitely different, right? Because in competition, it's one bite. That's it. So you have to pack in as much flavor as you can into one bite. Like competition ribs, like you might eat a whole rib, but if you do, you're not going to want a second one because it's just a lot of salt, it's a lot of sugar, it's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
it's not the same as what you want in the backyard when you want to kill a rack of ribs.
No. Some of the best ribs we've ever done is something that those baby backs on the back
simple
grill, something that were just there's no glazes or anything. Sometimes maybe do a little foil boat underneath it to catch some au jus and maybe brush that back on top or something. But something very simple and sit and just break them apart with your hands and just devour. I mean, that's probably some of the best barbecue. Backyard barbecue, first of all, let's not sleep on what backyard barbecue is. Backyard barbecue is, of course, you have the novices, the people getting into it, and you've got people that are like 25, 30 years experience cooking all these different types of proteins and meats and different ways of cooking, and you can get some of the best tricks and tips and whatever from backyard cooking. I honestly believe that YouTube has changed the cooking for everybody's going to school every single night when they're watching a cooking video. You know what I mean? They're in a cooking class essentially, and you're learning a new technique and you're learning something new. And I think that's the power of what we have right now when it comes to barbecue.
Absolutely.
I also like learning how to drink different beers. So
nice segue.
Very smooth.
Can we get into the grabbing the brisket
beer review?
Did you like that?
I love that.
You can chime in for the outro.
Serenaded right there. Okay. All right, this was a birthday beer for me. Our friend Tamara sent me 3 6-packs via Drizzly, and this is a Hoppy Amber Lager from Brooklyn Lager.
Brooklyn brand.
Brooklyn Lager.
Whatever. It's a cool looking can, super classy.
Is it like Brooklyn made out of like Utah or some shit like that?
I was wondering that too.
Where's it from?
Utica.
New York. New York.
New York. All right, it's a New York beer.
Nice.
5.2% alcohol by volume. What do you think of that can, Jan?
I like it. It's a classy can. It looks, to me, it has a kind of a sports vibe to this, like a classic, classic
Boston Celtics
pub
over here.
Yeah, or a classic pub.
Yep.
And meets like I see a sign like this. I'm like, oh, they got sports inside. Let's go to that place.
It's like the salt, pepper, garlic of
beer
cans.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I see Irish. I see a
definitely Irish
game,
yeah.
soccer game going on right here with this.
Yeah, definitely SPG. Like, hopefully we have a listener or somebody that like tunes in. Like, is this actual like a legit beer that they drink up there, or is it like some?
That's
trash.
Yeah.
That's trash.
Nobody in Brooklyn drinks that.
Right.
I'm here. It's
We
real.
drink nothing but Budweiser.
Right.
Oh
my God. All right.
What do you think of this so far? It has kind of like it's very citrusy, right?
Citrus? I got no citrus on this.
You're not getting any citrus. Is it hot?
No, this is, for me, it's got that deep amber, like, what do you call it? I don't know the word. I've had too many already.
Amber. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
This has the amber flavor.
Amber
if you
alert.
would.
Good for you. Is there no citrus in here? Am I crazy?
No, there's no citrus.
There's nothing?
No.
What is that then?
There's
Just
a
a
real
little light
balanced hop. Like the hop,
There's a hop, but I
but
get
it's
that.
not too much.
Yeah, it's mild.
It's really really mild.
It's way far off from like IPA hop. It's just very light.
What's
subtle.
no, it is, but there's something there. What's the
Hey, you're allowed to experience whatever you experience.
no, for sure. What is the bitterness scale? What do you call that?
Oh,
IBU?
IBUs,
Yeah.
right? So these IBUs are definitely,
Yeah, there's some bitterness in there for sure.
but it's not that bitter, right? Or
Yeah,
no?
it's way down.
Yeah, it's
way
a
down.
very low score.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm not good
like
at the
the lower the score for that, the lower the bitterness. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe like a 15 or something.
I have no
15
idea.
IBUs.
Maybe.
This
Definitely, maybe.
It's good though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
it's
drink
like-
it again.
Yeah, it's like they say, it's a hoppy amber lager. Like
Yeah,
they nailed it with that description. I really like this beer, and I'll just go ahead and jump right into my score if you don't mind.
Good.
I'm giving this thing a 8.3.
Wow.
I really
That's
like it.
way up there.
Yeah, I would throw this into my like regular rotation
Okay,
of beers
okay.
because I have noticed that like lately I've been like digging the IPAs a little bit less, but this has just like that little bit of hoppiness in it. You know, it makes it stand out a little bit. It's a little different, and I don't know. It's a very good balance, I think.
Okay. I feel like this is a good opportunity to describe our grading scale. So 5 for us is average. It's middle of the road. So a lot of scales, 5 would be like that shit.
Yeah.
It's middle of the road. It's fine. I drink it, whatever. 8 is like, that's really...
8's great.
That's great.
8
It's
is
a
great.
great beer. So just keep that in mind. Jan, what do you think?
Let me get one more sip. I'm sorry. I'm
He
not ready.
does
always
this every
this.
time,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time.
every time.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure if this is a word or not. This beer is very drinkable. The drinkability.
Very high drinkability.
Not
Is that a word? Drinkability?
Nope.
This,
Let's just induct
you can drink the
drinkability
shit.
into the.
We should be able to, right?
Right now.
Yeah, somebody call
Can we vote on
Merriam-Webster.
it?
You can drink the shit out of this beer. This is a really good tasting beer. This is a taste. It's great. It's a good beer. I have. What was your 8.3?
8.3.
I am in the 8s.
Just say 8.3 too.
We got to edit all this shit. You know that, right?
No, it's fine. I'm an 8.1. I mean, 8.1 for this one.
Yeah.
I want to go higher than that, and I probably should have. And I don't know what's holding me back because even the alcohol content for this thing is high enough.
Yeah.
This is a good tasting beer.
I think if it was your first beer of the night, you would have given it like an 8.4, 8.5.
Probably. Yeah.
I'm feeling that same way. Like if this
You
was
know?
earlier in the night, I might like it more.
Yeah. How many beers have we had
I don't know.
already?
Enough.
I don't even know. We had all the beers.
This is my
Yeah,
third.
I still like this though. I'm gonna
Okay.
go. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna go 8.
8,
6.
8.6.
I like this
Okay.
a lot.
All
It's a
right.
good
Oh,
beer.
really?
What, and
I
so
would
you
drink this.
you paired this. You had the 12%er earlier.
Yeah. Yep.
A 12%er.
12%er.
Now you're having the 5
Yeah,
point.
this is a light beer for him right now.
Why, you don't even
basically-
counting his beers? though?
Basically, you had a bottle of wine, and now you're having a light beer.
And now I'm having a light beer.
Yeah,
This is a really good beer, though.
Nice.
5.2%. You can drink this all day,
all day
and it's
on the way to
it's
work.
refreshing. That on the way to work.
Why not?
Yeah,
Right?
like smoking a brisket all day. This is something you should try. Definitely.
It has almost an AM quality to me, like an AM. Like
This is
like
not a
10
breakfast
a.m.
beer.
A 10 a.m. or 11 a.m.
This
beer.
is not a breakfast beer.
A 10 a.m. or 11. It's brunch.
Well, hey, you
Come
just
on,
you
it's
told us
brunch.
what you told us what you thought about it. You want to give us your score?
Well, I mean, since you guys are,
No,
no,
it's just
don't
all
worry
about
about
you.
what we
Yeah.
say.
it's all about me.
Well,
pressure.
If you want to
It's
give it
your
a 2,
score.
give it a 2.
Jan's gonna blow it out, or Jan's
Jan.
gonna blow it out of the water anyway.
I already have my score locked in.
Locked in. I'm gonna go 7.5. I'm gonna go
7.5.
7.5.
That's a solid.
Hey,
That's a solid score. Okay.
Very good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6.0.
You
6.
suck, James.
Oh
Point.
my
Dang.
gosh,
This is
he's the
an
Simon
okay
of the group,
beer.
isn't
Every time he's
What did you give it?
A 6.0.
It's a beer
Why
score
are you
assassin.
doing this? Like you're so
It's
rude.
very okay.
What did you not like about this beer?
bro?
He's not a big.
little bit of the
fan.
maltiness.
You don't
I
have
think
to tell
yeah,
me.
so I think
That's
You
the
know,
word
you-
I was looking for earlier. Malty. It's
Yeah,
malty.
it is. It has a
It's
little maltiness
malty
to
beer.
it.
A little bit of
Yeah.
You
I
don't,
think-
have to, you don't have to tell me that, James.
I think
It's
James
your score.
he hates hop. He hates hop.
Right.
And if it has
Yeah.
any hop in there, let's get a low score.
That's not true.
Right.
James likes hop.
Yeah.
You like
He's a
hop, James?
He's a hop.
I do like hops.
I don't think so.
I think I would know. I
I'm
think I would
lying.
know.
Right.
I'm lying.
He's anti-hop.
Yeah, I'm lying.
All right.
I was going to say earlier, it's like the article that I came across, like a new trend in beer, is actually a trend in making water look like beer, like
yeah,
disguised
right,
in
right.
cans. So it's like cans that look like beer, but
it's
it's actually water.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, there's a few like what's the Liquid Death?
Liquid
Liquid
Death.
Death.
Liquid Death. There's a couple others out there that are putting out like it's just water, but the cans look like you're drinking beer.
We have canned water on the airplane, but I don't know if it looks.
Is
like
it called
beer.
Liquid Death?
No, it's called.
I don't know if it's the
called
marketing or
Deja
whatever,
Blue.
but I like
It's all
I like
marketing.
Liquid Death. I drink that stuff. Like I don't know what it is.
That's a marketing thing.
Yeah, maybe it is.
You're paying
but
a lot for
You,
water.
Yeah,
you
I-
fell for it?
I buy it every time I go to a grocery store.
What do
I
you
usually
buy?
Get one. The Liquid Death water.
Are you
Canned water.
serious?
Yeah, I buy it.
Never.
He's
I do it.
financing it.
No, I drink
And
water out of the tap.
That's a sparkling water, isn't
bro.
it?
Well, they have a
both.
regular
They have
and a
both.
sparkling.
Oh, really?
You know, I live in the suburbs. What do you want from me?
Right.
I drink water from a gas station. I spend extra money. You know, what do you want?
Yeah. But
Right. I'm just a yuppie. I can't help it.
this concludes the Grabbing the Brisket.
Perfect harmony as always.
So good.
I did see, not to go sidetracked, get off of barbecue.
Yeah.
I came across an article talking about like there's a 129-foot super yacht worth like insane amount of money sinks off the Italian coast. Like I really hope like everybody's like,
sinks?
safe and they got out, but
Is it finders keeper, loser, weeper?
I don't know.
Or
Yeah.
like, is there dive boats running
It's
everywhere?
like super yacht. Like
yeah.
Those guys couldn't
It's
care
like a
less
Titanic.
about what we think about that.
That's insurance, man.
They got
They-
another one coming.
they got insurance.
Because of insurance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What is like? I saw articles like is it Leo DiCaprio or whatever? He shows up in some like not off-world country or whatever, but they're talking about like the trying to save the planet, trying to save the whatever. But he shows up in this super yacht that churns out enough diesel that's like enough to power America for like a year. And he's like, you guys need to cut back. You need to conserve. And you're like, I mean, what's going on here, guys? I mean,
It's almost
Well,
like
no.
they're hypocrites.
What's
I don't know,
what's
you
the
know?
girl?
Yeah.
What's the Kardashian that was taking plane rides for
the
30 minutes?
Kardashian-
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
A
she
30-minute drive is a plane ride for her. She takes a plane for 30 minutes.
Well, it was like a
Cut down on
literally, it's
traffic.
a 6-minute plane ride.
Yeah.
Or a 30-minute drive.
Correct.
Wow.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
I've done some of those.
Right.
And you get pissed off if I like don't like recycle correctly.
Right.
Like,
Right.
It's
You're,
horrible.
you're killing the planet. You're like, come on, man.
You
Like,
need to do your part. I'm like, I'm doing my part.
You own 4
Somebody else
yachts.
do your part.
You got 5 planes. Like, you're taking trips all over town because you got the money,
right.
but you're not being responsible.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So-
bet they sunk that super yacht on purpose.
Get that
Got to get that
insurance
insurance.
money.
insurance money.
Yeah.
Jackasses. Let's talk about a little bit about what we did today. We did a bunch of cooking.
We did.
We fired up the
so
the
good.
Weber.
Hashtag Weber Kettle Gang.
We
Yes.
threw out a bunch of food. Let's talk a little bit about what we did and how it was.
The shrimp from me, dude, so good.
It may have been it was. It may have been the show. I mean, a showstopper or
The star of the show.
it was just like, hey, stop the presses. Have you tried the shrimp yet?
Yeah.
Because that's how
Which
it
one did we
was.
put on there?
The Thai coconut curry jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to try a bunch of marinades and spices from Reggae Spice
Reggae
Company.
Spice Company.
Yeah. So then that's why you're in town, right?
That is, yep. That is why I'm getting on more planes this year than I have in my entire life.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you
that's
flew
nice.
down here for us. Oh,
It's true. Yeah, that was
Right.
a side.
Oh, I
thing.
drove down here for you guys. Yep.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that whole company? What's going on with that?
So, Reggae Spice Company is, we manufacture instant wet marinades, and we're doing different things than all the other rubs that you go into the store. You know, if you go into the seasoning aisle and you see seasonings, you're seeing dry rubs, you're seeing salt, pepper, garlic, and then whatever additives. We're putting jerk marinades in a ready-to-go kit that any person can put one of those marinades on chicken, fish, pork, beef, and have that flavor that they miss the last time they went on a cruise ship.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and this. You say kit, and kit honestly makes it sound almost more complicated than what it is because it's a jar of that marinade ready to go. We spread that shit on a tri-tip, and we did it on the shrimp. That shit was so good.
And he means instant. I mean, you
So-
throw it on there and then throw it on the
instant.
grill.
How
That's
long? How long is instant? What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, so right.
So we're gonna start saying 60-second marinade because we have noticed that with instant, people still ask you how long.
It's like they don't believe you.
They don't believe
it's
that
How
it's
instant?
instant.
instant
'cause-
for a marinade, or
Yeah.
yeah.
So we think 60 seconds is appropriate, but you can marinate overnight. You can marinate a couple hours. Obviously, the longer you go, the more deeper flavor you get. But we got that flavor. I showed up. We put the marinade on, and we cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Today was
immediately.
honestly, it was probably from the time the grill. There was a grill problem. There was a skewer problem. We didn't have the skewers. So let's say all in all, it's set for like 8 minutes, right? 10 minutes, something like that. Just enough time for somebody to find skewers in their house and to bring it out and actually get it done and throw them on. But the amount of flavor that was packed into that
So good.
was crazy. And it didn't look like it was that dredged. You know what I mean? It didn't look like it had that much on there. It just cooked up. And that first bite, I was like, well, this is probably the best shrimp I've had in, like, I can't tell you how long.
Yeah.
You know?
So if I give you guys a secret,
Oh, yes.
We won't tell anyone.
We won't tell nobody else.
on the grill, you get less flavor than if you use one of those curries and make like a curry sauce.
Okay.
So like that Thai coconut, if you were to get like say 1 can of coconut milk or cream and you put a couple teaspoons in there and you let that cook down, maybe with some aromatics if you want, no need. But then you just add your shrimp like the last 3 minutes and then you take that out. There's so much flavor because the heat brings out a lot of those flavors, that those flavors bloom a lot. So throwing on the grill, you're robbing yourself of some flavor. But as you guys can see, we still got just really good flavor. And the hot wasn't too hot either.
No.
Right.
And maybe grilling the way we did. I don't know if it cut down a little bit on the heat.
Yeah.
It had a nice kick still.
You still had a kick, and that was the thing. You're like, okay, I immediately want another one.
Yeah.
How hot is this? I was still gauging how hot is this going to get. Can I get another one first? I don't care how hot it gets at this point. I want another one. It tastes good. And then I was like, oh, it leveled out. And I was like, okay, this is not really that spicy. It's just
like
a kick.
The right amount.
Yeah.
Right amount of flavor.
Yeah.
So yeah, our jerk marinade is that's the star of the show. So it's our best seller, but it's also included in every curry marinade. So that's why all of them is called a curry jerk. So it's a curry from a different region. So we have a Singapore curry, we have a Thai curry, African curry, all of these, and a Jamaican curry. All of these curries are blended by us in-house from a different region to replicate how that region has their curry.
Okay.
And that is, so we call it fierce flavors from all over the world.
Very cool.
I love
Very
that.
cool.
Yeah, we did some tri-tips with some of those on it, and that African curry flavor.
Curry.
Ooh.
Man, on that
The
that
game
beef,
the
that
game
was
changer.
good. It was
Yeah.
really good. That was my favorite of all of them.
And then we started dipping the potatoes. We did a little foil pack with some potatoes. Started dipping that in the au jus from it. Holy moly,
I know, right?
so good.
Yeah. If you guys have game meat, definitely try the African on it.
Okay.
Because, dude, the coriander and the cumin. And so I learned about all of these spices and the combination getting involved with this company. You know, so now I understand like how different curries are made. It's not just curry. It's a blend of different seasonings, and so it's a little or a lot of one of the variation, one of those seasoning variations to make that curry, and you get such different flavors. So they're all a little different, even though they're all marked a curry. You just have to like mess around with it and see what we threw in there to surprise you.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to cook with them again and just do like side by side comparisons on the same protein.
Yeah. Well, not even that. I'm thinking about all the different other proteins that we have not tried yet, right?
We didn't even do chicken. We did jerk, and we didn't even do chicken.
I know,
Like,
I know, and that's coming and whatever else. But to be honest with you, I was very shocked in how much flavor that was packed in, and shrimp can absorb some flavor. I know that, but how much flavor was packed in just the few minutes. And like I said, this wasn't like a whole lot of marinade or rub that was put on there, right? No. It was, and there was no seasonings involved. This is just only the marinade, coated. Everything got tossed around, coated, and then basically skewered and put on the grill. Like, it's just the fastest you can do it all. But I did not expect to have that much flavor, and I was pleasantly surprised by this, to be honest with you.
So 4 teaspoons per pound is what is recommended for the sweet and sassy, and 2 teaspoons per pound for the hot and spicy.
Yeah.
A little bit goes a long way.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I'm just excited now. Like, I'm going to do some shrimp and do it on the pan with that coconut milk. I really want to try that out now.
Oh, with some butter. And just kind of saute it real good. Yeah.
So if people wanted to find these seasonings and these rubs, marinades, where can they go?
So first place, you can go to our website, reggaespicecompany.com, and you could go in our store locator and see if there's a store near you. So here in Houston, I'm here this week hitting up Ace Hardwares, and so far we have gotten into 4 Ace Hardwares around the area. We are in the Pearland store. We are going to be in Atascocita, and the K&M, and League City. Oh, there's another one too. Another one up close by where I'm staying in Willowbrook there. But yeah, we're now attempting to just kind of go into Texas and see what the market is like. The response is pretty good so far. A lot of people are interested because Texas is known for, their salt, pepper, garlic, and then their other, I don't want to say basic, but traditional type rubs. So bringing this to the market is only going to expand, the reach of that store and the demographic that they can bring into their store to sell those seasonings to.
Well, I think I think you're exactly right, because Jamaican rubs have I think if you've been anywhere, you traveled or whatever else, everybody's tried a Jamaican jerk or jerk seasoning or whatever, but at the same time, I think this is a great rub to bring to market, just because it's giving somebody that has not been exposed to how some of these flavors are and how bold they can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's so easy to use.
It's very easy, right?
You do not have to be a grill master, pit master to use this stuff.
Nope.
You don't even have to have barbecue. You do this in your house.
That's right.
It's easy. And
saute it in a pan if you're going to try that.
Now, if Greg from Australia wants to get a hold of it, does he have any way of doing that?
Yes, he can order it from our website, and we have shipped to Australia. It's just a little bit more expensive.
I bet.
Yeah.
But we have shipped to Australia. We have shipped to New Zealand. And we're actually targeting, I think, within a year and a half to go New Zealand, Australia, because they are heavy into curry.
Oh,
yeah.
And so we are confident that the curry jerk across Australia, New Zealand, and a lot of those other Asian countries will, take onto the curry.
Right. No, I totally agree. So far I'm blown away with this. I know that John, everybody's eyes lit up earlier. We're like, oh my God, So I cannot wait to see. So social media wise,
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Go ahead and plug it. What's the
Reggae Spice Company?
Reggae Spice Company. Okay.
The only one that's not Reggae Spice Company is Instagram. Our Instagram got hacked. I think we had 15,000 followers, and somebody hacked it and tried to. They wanted to sell us back the Instagram. It's just like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't
Ransomware.
negotiate with terrorists.
That's right. We don't want you.
Yeah. Hey, you go ahead and keep it.
So yeah, Reggae Spice Co. on Instagram. But yeah, all of this, go to reggaespicecompany.com. We have our social links on there. Tons of those recipes that are on that page I developed myself and put together. So we have recipes like jerk chicken recipes, burger recipes, queso recipes, all that stuff that's on there. So that is really how I started, you know, getting involved with the company, was doing a lot of their ambassador stuff. And I think myself and the founder of the company just kind of grew, you know, closer together. And so now I have this awesome responsibility of bringing this to, you know, to the world.
There it is.
I love that.
And you are trying to reach out to, you didn't write all that down. There'll be links down. Just scroll down wherever you're listening to this, and you'll find links to all this stuff.
Use your thumb.
Yeah, just
like
use the thumb
scroll.
scroll.
Yeah.
Just go with the down thumb scroll.
I love the unique flavors and stuff. And for people that may not be used to getting some of the jerk flavors, the curries, this and that, it's delicious.
Right, and not all of it is super spicy. So if
Yeah,
you're like, oh, I don't do spicy,
right.
they got some that's not spicy.
Correct. Yeah. Hey, try it out for yourself.
So the hot and spicy is hot, and the sweet and sassy has 0 hot peppers.
There you go.
So we have formulated it in a way where every single person who is interested in this flavor can have it.
I love that.
John, you took the words
I'm
out
sorry.
of my mouth.
You got to be
You
a
know
little,
what?
a
I
little
love
bit
it too.
quicker.
I love it too.
We all love
it?
it.
Yeah.
So, guys, slide over to the Grabbing the Brisket website, grabbingthebrisket.com, and also wherever you're finding the podcast at, we'll have links, as John mentioned earlier, of where you can check out the Reggae Spice Company, along with Cooking with
Kunchi.
Kunchi.
Yeah,
Go
well,
check out his social
link for
media
that,
page. He's putting out a lot of recipes, and he's also putting out a lot of like how-to type stuff, backyard grilling. So
Yeah, he keeps it simple.
it's a much appreciated, and we thank you for joining us. This has been super fun. I know we cooked a lot of food today. The tri-tip. Go and talk a little bit about that tri-tip, because I know that changed your views on how you do tri-tip.
So, you know, I'm not gonna say I had views on tri-tip, but I've looked at tri-tip and I'm like, it's just, I don't know how tender that is. You know, it tends to be more lean, and how the fibers run, it's complicated to cut it, so that also affects how you taste it. But dude, that tri-tip cooked medium rare today, and probably medium. It was better than my tri-tip cooked as a brisket. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, my tri-tip cooked as a brisket had killer smoke ring, really tender, but this tri-tip today it tasted like a ribeye.
That's
It was delicious. I think you guys are masters at this. I'm gonna have to go home and try to replicate
We
this.
cooked a few.
Yeah, it is. Cook them like a steak, man.
And if people are wondering, flip it. Just keep flipping it until you get a nice char in there. Throw it in direct. Let it just come up the temp.
Yeah.
Pull it. That's it. Let it rest.
100%. 100%.
And maybe sprinkle a little flake salt.
A little flake salt.
Yep.
Gotta have
A
the
little
flaky
salt
salt.
bay on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we recommended. And shout out to my buddy Dusty. When we went out to the Frio River, we busted out the tri-tip, and everybody, happy to say, went berserk over this. Like, they just like tore it up in like a matter of seconds. And like, this is amazing. This is great. Like, kids just coming up, just like, this is amazing.
Right. Whose
And-
kid is this?
Right.
Can you be my dad now?
Dusty was like, hey, what did you do to that? And I showed him everything I did. And it's like, hey, but once you slice everything up, fan it out, get you a little bit of that flake salt, and then sprinkle it over. Let it rest let it sit there for a minute. Go to town. He's like, bet. He got home probably that next week. Hey, Janae went and picked up a tri-tip. I'm going to do it. What do I need? And he went and got stuff. He's like, I got pictures back saying, he's like, my God, this is the best. Like, everybody is coming back saying this is the best thing they ever tasted.
We need to do a little tri-tip tutorial video.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. All right. While you're out there checking out the social medias and whatnot, real quick, wherever you're listening to this, go ahead and leave a review. We like those, and it helps us out. So if you're on the Apple Podcast or the Spotify or wherever it is, go ahead and leave a review. 5 stars. If you're going to do less than 5, don't bother. But if you're going to do 5 stars, go ahead and do that.
Well, if you leave less than 5, leave your address too.
Right.
And drop a voicemail. We have a hotline that you guys can call in, ask questions, talk shit, whatever you want. John's going to post it social media wise, or actually he's got it right now.
Yeah, the phone number is 434-829-2299. Leave a message, talk shit about Jan, and we will play it.
We will play it.
That's how you get to the top of the list.
Yes, if you talk shit about Jan, you're number one to be played. Guaranteed.
I'm going to quit this podcast.
Oh my God.
No, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's been great talking barbecue with you guys.
Peace.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
We've been
Thank
great.
you guys for having me.
Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. We'd like to give a special thanks to Sucklebusters BBQ Rubs and Sauces, Bolner's Fiesta Spices, CoolieNation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, YETI Coolers, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Dalstrong Knives. We definitely appreciate your support.